Ukraine filed a lawsuit against Russia with the European Court of Human Rights in March 2014. It later expanded it. The ECHR united the lawsuits in a single case on human rights violations in Crimea occupied by Russian Federation. It covers the period from February 2014 to September 2022, until the moment when Russia stopped being a party to the European Convention on Human Rights. Hearing on the interstate case of Ukraine against the Russian Federation began in December 2023. At this time, Russia sabotaged the investigation by not responding to official requests and not commenting on the evidence provided by Ukraine. Therefore, the hearings were held without the participation of the Russian side. The Grand Chamber of the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg found the Russian Federation guilty of massive violations of European Convention on Human Rights in Crimea, occupied by Russian army.
From what was recognized, I was really struck by the list of everything that was established by the European Court. This is the disappearance of people, the practice of mistreatment of soldiers, Crimean Tatars, journalists and civilian Ukrainians, the arrests of these categories of people, the raids and searches of private homes, the intimidation of religious leaders and search of premises used for religious purposes, the pressure and harassment of non-Russian media. This is only a brief, very brief summary. We still have a huge amount of work to do, but it is a historic day of the first judgment on the interstate case of Ukraine versus Russia.
In a unanimous decision, Russia was found guilty of violating at least 10 articles of the European Convention on Human Rights. This is the first decision of an international court to find the Russian Federation responsible for large-scale and systematic violations of human rights in occupied Crimea.
This decision is unique. A number of conclusions and violations under the Convention have been recognized by the ECHR today for the first time in its practice. Application of Russian legislation, illegal courts, forced change of citizenship. This is an important stage and result on the way to bringing the aggressor to international legal responsibility. Margarita Sokorenko, Commissioner for the European Court of Human Rights, on Facebook.
A special international tribunal on the crime of Russian aggression could later rely on the evidence base gathered by the ECHR, experts say.
Can the evidence from the Crimean case get to this tribunal? Surely it can to some extent. It is a very large base. We have been collecting it with great difficulty for many years. I mean, there are witnesses, there are video recordings and a lot of all kinds of materials. So yes, these materials can certainly be used in the tribunal on the crime of Russian aggression.
Russia was expelled from the Council of Europe in March 2022, but the European Court of Human Rights has the right to consider applications filed against the Russian Federation if they refer to events that occurred before September 16, 2022. In the same year, the Russian State Duma, in the first reading, voted amendments according to which the ECHR judgments issued after March 16, 2022 are not subject to execution in the Federation. Reported by Andriy Dmitrenko, UATV News.